If you guys don't already know who James Gurney is, you need to check out his YouTube channel right now. This is a living master. This is one of his paintings. My version of it. My rendition of my attempt. Yeah. If you look at the original, his actual painting, mine looks like if you squint your eyes really hard. That's what my painting looks like compared to James Gurney's painting. James Gurney's painting looks like a photograph of an astronaut. It's something to behold. Also, by the way, if you don't know about James Gurney, and maybe you do know about James Gurney, but you, for some reason, don't know about the 2 books that he has. Okay, let me show you right here. This is Color and Light by James Gurney. This is actually where I found the reference for this painting right here. We're gonna find it here in a second. Oop, oop, oop. There it is. Got it. Found it. Okay. The lighting's terrible. I know. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person. Hey, maybe you should film with better light. Yeah, I will. Watch. Does this lighting look better? Do I actually look like a normal person? No, I kind of like the darker. I kind of like the darker light. It hurts my eyes. Where's the light button? But yeah, check out James Gurney's Color and Light, and he also has another book called Creative Realism, and that one's also fantastic. They're absolutely within the top 5 most useful art books I have ever found, read from start to completion. Anyways, with that being said, I did this in a day and a half, which is ballsy of me, bold of me, to try and attempt a masterwork within a day and a half. Yeah, don't do that. Give it more time. Simmer on it. Let it really sizzle out, and then you'll learn a little bit more. This is a time constraint for me to get this video out. My requirement is 1 painting, 1 video every week. So, that being said, don't mess around at the beginning of the week. Do more stuff throughout the week, you know? Practice more, sketch daily, you know? These things go hand in hand with being successful, living successful. Okay, yeah, alright, well, I'm gonna keep yammering here. Takeaways from this painting. Number 1 being texture. Texture did not come easy to me, ever. Ever. And this was kind of one of those moments where I'm like, oh, of course, okay, now it clicks. I think that just happens with everything. You're gonna suck and suck and suck at it. I'm not saying I'm good. I'm not saying I'm a master by any means, but for me, this was kind of one of the breakthrough moments where I'm like, oh, texture, okay. Just put a lot of scratches in a lot of scratches with a lot of colors, and you're gonna get better texture than just putting a big blob and wipe of color on that painting. So that's my takeaway from this, is my texture. I'm definitely going to use that going forward. Number 2, dos y mundos. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Number 2, reference. James Gurney goes way into reference. It's insane. This man makes small-scale cities and then uses them for his lighting reference. That is a level of commitment I haven't even stepped toward, approached yet, but you know, after seeing this, and I don't know what his reference was for this painting, there's not much about it. This painting was made in 1982. James Gurney was about 24 years old. I looked up his age. Maybe that's wrong, but Google lied to me if it is. I'm 22 years old right now. Mr. Gurney, I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do, because what you did at 24 is goddamn impressive. It's goddamn impressive. But number 2 is take your reference material way more seriously. I'm going to really hammer down, especially for sci-fi and more pulp fiction type paintings. I'm gonna find my own outfits and then find my own models for those. I'm gonna go above and beyond now. Seeing what this is, I want to really take that extra step to add all the clothing, apparel, and reference I can on a camera before I go just putting it on this. Normally I work with just pictures on the internet, which is okay. It's great reference as long as you find the right picture. But actually recreating the picture you want to approach with your own reference in your own lighting conditions, especially if you can nail down the lighting conditions for how you want your painting to look, that'll be so much better than just finding a picture on the internet and then kind of Frankensteining pictures together. Anyways, I really enjoyed studying this painting and I did my best within a day and a half. So realistically, everything's still wet on this. So James Gurney probably waited, I'm just gonna take a guess, he probably spent more time on this than I did. If I was gonna proceed going forward to get this even closer to what James Gurney actually produced, I would wait for this to dry a little bit. Once the oil paint dries, then you can add some finer details over top of this. As this is right now, this is all in, they call it in alla prima, which is wet on wet painting. So nothing is dry on this. If I put my hand on this painting right now and wipe, all of this would smear off right now, or into a big messy puddle. But anyways, yeah, so it's hard to get finer details if you don't wait for things to dry. You can still do it. I absolutely could keep working on this and enhancing and refining details on this, but it's a lot easier if it's just dry. So keep that in mind, you gopher, you goober. If James Gurney actually sees this for some bizarre reason, thank you, Mr. Gurney. Your 2 books and just me practicing off a painting you did decades ago brings so much value to me as someone who has to teach themselves, because there's no real art institutions or worthy mentors in this area for me, so I'm just struggling to find them, I guess. So everything I've taught myself has been off YouTube on this platform, and with that, I can't thank you enough. And that's why I gotta tell you guys, go to James Gurney's YouTube, please. He has so much information on there. He does a lot of plein air paintings, and there's just a vast wealth of information from him. So absorb it. If no one else is teaching you, you gotta teach yourself. So get out there, go get it. Go get it, girl. Oh, and you think I didn't put the spaceman in the outro? You crazy girl.